Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back. Today, we are talking about the third pillar of wholesaling real estate.
I love it, Dave. So what are the three pillars of wholesaling real estate?
Help me out
If you
here.
haven't listened to the prior couple episodes, the three pillars are, number one, marketing. So in order to wholesale properties, these are the three things you have to do consistently to do deals. One is marketing. You have to have new seller leads coming in order to do deals. If you don't, you're not going to do deals. The second one is making offers. So number two, make offers. If you're not making offers to those sellers that are coming in from your marketing efforts, you're never going to buy a house. You're never going to have anything under contract. You're never going to be able to buy a property. You're not going to be able to sell a property. You can't wholesale it if you don't make offers. Super, super important. The third one, follow up. It's as simple as that. I mean, that almost could be the end of this. Just follow up. You have to. Guys, what's that sales statistic? I think I mentioned it in the last one.
Yeah, here, I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Pull it up because I like it so much, and I know you do too. It's the percent of sales made on the first contact is so small that it's super, super important to continue to follow up with your prospects or your seller leads, rather. This is before offers. This is after you've made an offer, after you've just spoken and they say, I'm not really interested in selling. You just keep following up. Dave, here, what is that statistic here that we've got?
Let's try to make it bigger so we can read it here. So,
Sorry, I thought you had it.
I will.
There we go.
I'm working on it. Okay, so 48% of salespeople, they never follow
this
up.
is why it's so powerful.
Yeah.
I forgot the first half of it.
First half is the best part, right? I pulled this up on the web and it went to my page on Pinterest.
Weird.
Isn't that crazy? I just found the first picture that I liked and it was me. Interesting. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. That's half, guys. 48%. All right, next thing. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then they stop. So half don't even follow up one time. A quarter of people will follow up once.
They're 75% of your competition.
Gone. They're out of the game. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. So basically, 1 in 10 people are gonna make
More than 3.
are gonna make. Well, not even that. They're gonna make 3 calls.
Yeah.
They're gonna follow up once, and then a second time, and then the third time. That's it. And only 10% of salespeople will make more than 3 contacts with their clients, customers, potential sellers in this case. So that right there shows you your competition. If you follow up once, you're doing better than half of the people out there.
Get to the good part, Dave. Get to the good part. Come on, man.
Right? You follow up a second time, you're better than 75% of your competition. So here's why this matters, right? And this is why the people that are doing all the follow-up are doing all the deals, okay? 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 2%. And half of the people are gonna stop right there. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 75% of people don't get this far. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. So we went from 2% to 3% to 5% from first, second, and third contact. This is where it gets real fun. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. So essentially 1 in 10 is going to take 4 contacts, right? But let's jump up to the 80%. 80% of all sales are going to be made between the 5th and the 12th contact. 80% between the 5th and the 12th contact.
This is
and on average, only 10% make more than 3
Guys,
Crazy.
this is our secret sauce. I mean,
This is the cheat code right here.
Dave and I will tell you, neither one of us is a great salesman. Like, I do not consider myself very good at sales. I'm just persistent. Same
I
thing.
am damn persistent.
Yeah, just consistent.
Calling,
Dave does the
following
same
up.
thing over and over and over. And again, that's just what we do. I mean, again, and we put a system in place that our assistants and our workers, they do this. This is what we do. We just keep following up. This is what is so cool about this business, too. This is how you beat the competition.
This is how you beat the competition.
Absolutely. One of my simplest and favorite quotes, because it's been a long time. It's been probably 10 years. But I ran a couple marathons. And I ran 5Ks in high school. But it's the saying that life is a marathon, not a 5K.
Not a sprint.
Yeah, it's not a sprint, baby. Like, you have to keep doing this stuff all the time. So that's the same thing with following up in wholesaling. You can't just do it one day for 3 hours, make some cold calls, and you're grinding, and that's awesome. And props for getting out there and doing that. Do it again in a couple days. If you're working a day job and you're exhausted, do it again in a couple days. Do it again in a couple days.
Yeah, this is like our 215th or something episode, give or take. Like,
Yeah.
do it again. We've done it 215
Yeah,
times.
and to our 5 subscribers, we really we appreciate you guys.
That's right. we really love you guys. No, but the thing is, though, is you got to do it over and over again. So when we're talking about follow-up, we're not just talking about following up with the person because we want to get an appointment. We're talking about following up on all aspects of this business.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we're going to follow up on the marketing side of things, right? When we're doing any type of marketing and we're calling somebody and they have interest, we're going to call them back later. We're going to make a note and create a task and call them back. If they have a lot of interest, then we're going to try to set an appointment, and that's what we're going to start to follow up on. So the first part of that is, are you interested? Would you like me to make you some sort of offer? Come see it. Just follow up on that. That's a whole segment of what needs to get followed up on. Then there's the people that you need to try to get in the house. They want to sell. They've told you already. And now at this point, you need to make them an offer, or maybe you've even made them an offer, but you still need to see it. And if you're doing this virtually, you need to get somebody else out there to see it or have them send you pictures, right? But you're going to be following up on that. And then once you see the property, you are going to want to send that offer in writing if you haven't already. And if you send the offer to them and they don't sign it, now you're following up with them on that. Hey, did you get it? Do you have any questions? Why haven't you signed it yet? Okay? That's the first part, pillar 1, marketing. And there's actually 3 different ways to follow up within that. Okay? I guess pillar 2 is the offer part, so those two kind of go together, right? But then the last part is now, once you have this property under contract, you need to market this property to your cash buyers. And that's really where the wholesaling comes full circle, right? So now when you have a buyer that comes through and they say, hey, I like it, I'll make you an offer, and 2 days goes by and you haven't got an offer from them, you got to follow up with them too, okay? A bunch of people come through, follow up with every one of them until you get an offer. Guess what? You're not done following up. Now that you have an offer in hand, in writing, you've accepted, there's a $15,000, $20,000 spread on your wholesale deal. Woohoo! Guess what? You're not done. Now you have to take all that information to the title company, and you're going to follow up with the title company. Did you get it? Do you have any questions? What do you need from me? What do you need from the seller? What do you need from my partner, cash buyer? And you're going to follow up with those 2 people now, because they're going to probably need LLC docs, or they're going to have questions about when they need to show up to the title company and how much money do they need to bring and what's the HUD look like. So you're following up with everybody always, and that is the cheat code. Persistence. You can't just make one call and do one piece of marketing and get an appointment. It's not going to happen. You can't run one appointment and get a deal. You can. It's just not going to happen. The odds are not in your favor. Let the odds forever be in your favor.
I like
right?
it, man. Well, that's what I
They're
was
not.
thinking. It's kind of like dribbling a soccer ball or something, too. Like, you have to keep touching it.
You got to keep touching it.
You've got to keep touching it.
Dribbling a soccer ball is a perfect analogy.
Yeah, like literally.
Get the ball from here to there.
Even with the seller, once you have it under contract, and Dave, you were talking about this, then you've got it sold, and you've brought the information to your title company. Now you have to follow up with all 3 people. You've got to follow up with the seller. Say, hey,
Yeah, your follow-up.
did you talk to the title company? Did they call you? Good. Okay, great. Do they
It
need anything
doesn't
from me?
slow down. It speeds up.
It does. It accelerates to get to the closing
To
table.
the closing table.
I love
and that's
that.
the thing that I think people forget. They're like, oh, I did all this marketing, and then they'll do like 1 day of follow-up a month. And that's great and all, but, you shouldn't block it all into 1 day because certain people need to be followed up in certain times.
So, and this is where
Meaning you may need to call the one guy tomorrow, and this other deal you're working on, you can call him in 6 months. That's fine, but certain things need that priority.
And this is where it gets complicated for me personally because my brain just doesn't work with dates that well. So when I started out, I started with using Google Calendar, and I think that's a great way to schedule your follow-up when you're starting out.
Yeah, but doing
When you've
more
got
than
a
5
list-
or 6 on there is just going to get real cluttered, though.
When you've got, well, again,
Yeah.
it's however you do
It's
it.
how you
but
start, right.
When you don't have any, this is a free service. It's a great way to start. You're talking to a seller, okay, I need to follow up with this person in 2 weeks. Just click on the calendar, put a little reminder, put their name and phone number, you need to follow up with them. Great. Take your notepad, however you want to do it. I think that is a great way to do it. Use a Google Doc even to take notes on each person. Again, you have to have some sort of way to track these notes, figure
Correct.
out what you're following up with this person about, for goodness sakes. So again, there's plenty of ways to do it for free when you get started. As you progress, after about a month, if you're consistently reaching out to new people, get up to a couple hundred or a couple thousand people that you've contacted, it's unmanageable for me personally to do it without using a CRM. And a CRM is it's an acronym for Customer Relationship Management Software. And again, it just became impossible for me not to do it. So we started using CRMs, and they just changed the way that we're able to follow up because you're able to create a task in there, assign it to yourself or a team member, and then that task is either going to get done that day or when they get time to it. Again, the important thing is not necessarily that it gets done on the day that you assigned it. It's that it gets done, that you get the follow-up done.
Love that.
Super, super important. The one that we use pretty much exclusively now is REI Black Book, and we'll stick a link in the show notes so you guys can check that one out. It's a very, very powerful tool. If you click our link, I think they waive the licensing fee. There's like $1,000.
Yeah, it's a great deal. Check it out.
Yeah, very, very good. So if you need a CRM, that's kind of who we would recommend. But again, when you're starting out, don't let that be a roadblock. That's not one of the pillars. The pillar is not figure out which CRM I'm using.
Yes.
The pillar is
And that's why we call them the pillars, and look at it like a bar stool, guys. These are the money-making activities. Having a CRM is going to help you follow up more consistently, and it's going to remind you of your previous conversations. That's really it, okay? Yes, it could have a million bells and whistles, and REI Black Book does, and we love it, and we use a lot of them. But at the end of the day, what happened last, fill me in, and what do I need to do now? That's it. That's what CRMs do. They remind you, and they keep you task for, and oriented or focused, right? So when it comes to follow-up, guys, this is what I want you to take away from this section, right? Simply, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact, okay? 90% of people out there don't make more than 3. That's it. Those are the 2 stats I want you to run with, all right? 80% of all your deals are going to happen between the 5th and 12th contact. 80%. That is almost all of them between the 5th and 12th contact. And when you look at your competition, okay, 90% of the other people out there doing this are going to make 1, 0, maybe 0, 1, 2, or at the most 3 contacts. So you can win in this game and be successful if you master the art of following up. In fact, master the art of all 3 pillars. Pillar 1, marketing to motivated sellers, master it. Pillar 2, making offers, verbally and writing, snail mail, fax, however the hell they want it delivered, make it. And pillar 3 is following up relentlessly. Mic drop. That's it.
Love it.
Thanks for listening, guys. Signing off.
Cool.
Dude, that's a great ebook. Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support. And remember, you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.